good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Journal. SPK,
hold on to your butts.
Kick the beat. So guys, let me just give you something interesting before this whole thing with Hafeeze went down. I have been watching little snippets here and there of the roommates, especially since Kevin Samuels had, collaborated with them. And a buddy of mine's who's on YouTube is by the name of Omar from All Urban Central. He's a great guy. Shout out to All Urban Central and brother Omar. He's from Oakland. He knows of the roommates in Atlanta. And I was like, man, something about this Hafeeze guy. He just seems like real phony and like fake or something like that, right? And my boy was like, nah, man, he's a good dude. These cats are younger than us and all this other stuff. And I was just like, man, but something in my spirit is saying, bruh, it's kind of phony. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, that's just, maybe that's just, maybe what you're feeling, but I don't feel that about the brother. So I said, okay, cool, And in my notes, they had a professional platform and the roommates, and some of the things the roommates said, I thought was pretty interesting. But now I want to kind of get to what happened at Valuetainment with the whole debate with Coach Greg Adams. So this is where we start, right? Coach Greg Adams said in a video with the lead attorney that when they were behind the scenes together, Hafeeze didn't even acknowledge him or didn't even speak to him. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to play that clip right now and you can hear it for yourself.
Mm-hmm. So I'm walking around and there was a room and Hafeeze was sitting in it, but I didn't recognize him. I didn't expect him to be here. It was just a guy in a blue suit, that suit that you saw. And but it was a room with glass windows on this side, right? And there's an aquarium over there. And he's sitting and it's dark. All you can see, I can't really see his face. So I walked to the door and I'm looking around. He didn't acknowledge me. He didn't look up. He didn't say anything. And I'm like, it's brother. Like normally when you see a brother, you'd be like, "What's up, bro?"
Absolutely.
At the very least, but he said he didn't move a muscle. So I'm standing there like, okay, that's strange. Go to the bathroom. Go back to the green room. And the guy was like, "You want some drink, water, snacks?" Yeah. And by the way, they did a good job hosting me and all of that stuff. I appreciate them for doing an interview. Bottom line is they plug in this monitor and it said guests to the SOS cast. It said Allie Ray, me, and then Hafeez's name was on the screen. I'm like, what? I didn't know he was going to be there. So I was like, that's interesting.
Then we saw the exchanges between the two of them on the particular show. Hafeeze being very rude, I guess you could say pessimistic, not open to understanding, but okay, maybe he had a bad day, right? Then let's fast forward to the Just Pearly Things interview. Very rude. In his own words, what he will say, nihilistic. I guess if you want to talk about being rejected and being pessimistic during that conversation, that's completely what he was, right? And then Brother Obsidian and people like myself, mediocre tutorials and reviews, the lead attorney, we all kind of gave our assessment of what happened with Hafeeze. And the consensus was that, he got crushed, right? Not only by Coach Greg Adams, but by Just Pearly Things. I'm going to play a clip of what Brother Obsidian said about that, and then we'll come back.
The consensus is not good. The consensus on the part of the brothers is that Hafeeze got waxed on, waxed off twice in a row. First, of course, Coach Greg Adams. Now, you could argue, well, Coach Greg Adams is the older man here. He's got more experience. You could chalk that up to that. You say, well, how do you explain this one? How do you explain what happened with Just Pearly Things? How do you explain that? My understanding is that Hafeeze is 32? So he's roughly 20 years younger than me, roughly. Him and Ace Metaphor about the same age. And, but Just Pearly Things, according to what she said on the tape that we're about to go back to in a moment, she's only 25. And let's get the obvious out of the way. She's white. Not only is she white, she's not East Coast or West Coast white. She's not Tina Marie white. She's Midwest white. I mean, she didn't know what Love and Hip Hop was when he mentioned it. How is a flyover country Midwest white girl with strawberry blonde hair. Well, some would say she's a redhead. How do you get waxed by, no disrespect to Judge Pearly Things. How do you get waxed? Wax on, wax off. How do you get waxed by a woman that's 7 years your junior, white, and is middle and Midwestern? How does that happen?
So now, why are we here today? Because Hafeeze, after receiving so much criticism from the manosphere space, he comes on to his own YouTube channel and makes a video trying to basically save himself. In other words, there were a lot of people that were saying that, since he's been married, his tune has changed. Now he's, very, very blue pill. Now he's rejecting some of the same communities that helped him gain a subscriber base. So Hafeeze pretty much played an old clip of him saying the similar things to what he said allegedly on the Coach Greg debate. So we'll play that and then I'll come back.
Somebody once made an amazing comment. He said about 90% of the people who rock with the roommates who are in the comments are so amazing, positive, uplifting people. We have this community of all these negative, cynical, nihilistic men who only want to spit out negative things and say all these nasty things. And these men don't want to improve. They don't want to level up. They don't want to put in the work. They just want to complain. They just want to speak bad things at people. They just want to go on people's accounts and say nasty words because they have so much evil in their heart. They want to spew it to other people. And when you're like, yo, guys, I'm here to help. I created all these courses for you. A lot of them are free. We have all these resources, all these videos, interviewed all these people, have all these things. We're here to help you. They don't want the help. They don't want the help. They don't care for the help. They just want to see the world burn. They are trapped in nihilism and misery. And that is the second future of men. There's too many guys like that.
So now, as you can hear, he believes that some men are just nihilistic, wanting to see the world burn. He has all the resources to help men, but men don't want to be helped. And it's very interesting that Hafeeze has that attitude when Hafeeze is the one that needs the most help. Okay? I want to read some of the comments from Hafeeze's YouTube channel. I want you to see what people were saying about him, not me, him, right? Kid Exclusive says, the issue people had with Hafeeze during the podcast was one, he started with passive aggressive shade towards Coach Greg before Greg even had really spoken. Two, he said a lot of things without really saying much. He was more emotional than the females on the panel. I can understand passion, but once he got offended by what CGA said about God not being in marriage, everything seemed driven by emotion and not passion. Okay? Another guy says, speaking of wanting to see the world burn, Hafeeze wants to see the manosphere burn. Mike Turnup says, everyone don't want to be you. That does not mean men want to see it burn. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. This other guy, Man, says, Hafeeze assumes that the men who disagree with him are one, not doing the work, two, negative, pessimistic, nihilistic, dude, self-righteous SF. Judging from the comments, everyone can see it. Hafeeze needs a come to Jesus moment. So let me just say this, guys, because, as content creators, it's very easy to get beside yourself. And it can even happen to me, right? Shout out to the people out there. I got my boy SPK to keep me in line. I got Doug to keep me in line. I got a really good management team. Other brothers in the manosphere, obviously, my brother Sinful to P, people like MTR, BOA, people like that. Like if something's going wrong, somebody will call me and let me know, like, hey man, you're doing a little bit too much. You should, cut down on that, right? But where is that person for Hafeeze? Again, you think that you're the all, end all, be all, right? And let me just tell you something. For a brother like myself, who has very strong pro-black, pan-African leanings, like if I really tell you how I felt about things, you'd be crushed. Like, and I'm in the manosphere. But here's the thing. I see brothers that interracial date. I see brothers that do things that for me, those values are not the same. It's not for me. But the thing about it is I understand that all men are not like me. They don't have the same responses or live the same lifestyle, and that's completely fine. Everybody don't have to have our values, but now as men, overall, what we want respect. We want to be cared about. We want to build communities. We want to protect our families. And that's the difference. Like, we don't have a lot of men all the time who have understanding for just differences of opinion. Hafeeze doesn't do that. He can't do it with women. He can't do it with men. But yet he's going around saying that, that these men need the help. And the guy who needs the help is him. He has a lot of emotional problems. I hope that it doesn't come out in his marriage. The guy is completely, in my honest opinion, some of the things he's doing is completely ridiculous and ballistic. So I hope that he gets the help that he needs, and understand that while you're trying to help men, you can't help guys. And I want everybody in the manosphere to understand this. A lot of content creators are trying to help people, and you need help. We got to understand as content creators, people are looking up to us for ideas. And some of you guys got courses and things, and I understand it, self-development and all this other stuff, and you're not developed. That's why I don't even really deal with the courses things and stuff like that, because, I have bad days. I need help every day. I need mentorship. I really do. And I hope brothers understand that. Before we start talking about, what brothers need the help and what brothers need that, we need to sometimes look at what we're doing and understand that, hey, you know what? Somebody need to set me straight sometimes. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. I'm out.